Welcome to Ironheart, where everyone's talking about it, even the haters. The backlash reveals its cultural stakes.
Our culture that promotes killers and killing, a culture that I help promote.
It's a show about Gen Z-driven energy and moral complexity.
You lie, you cheat, you manipulate, even if that means hurting other people.
Riri is genuinely relatable.
I need to drop that pace. A lab so massive they don't notice if I finesse a resource here or there.
This is a show about leadership by capital B Black women.
So do you think I'm a good person? Never mind.
It's by, for, and about capital B Black women.
I want them to feel like they can identify with this person that they're seeing on screen, and it actually makes sense.
My main issue with the show is that Riri Williams is a lying thief that murders people and sells her soul to the devil. And you're like, you just hate black women. I'm not sure that's the image you want to push on them, to be honest. And it is STEM representation at its core. And that it is because, as was seen in an earlier interview, Dominique Thorne turned up at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
She spent time with STEM students. They call themselves STEMinists.
And made quite the entrance. But what was even more amazing was the interview itself.
What has it been like for you to see those STEM students so excited to see someone that represents them?
Oh, Dominic, you represent all those people in STEM. They can look at you and imagine what it's like to be an engineer.
Heartwarming for the impact that I'm just beginning to realize it's having on folks.
They're already at school for engineering. They are engineers, but they weren't really engineers until they saw an actor pretend to be one on screen.
Encouraging when you get to hear from people who are realizing, like, that's me. Like, I do that.
Theft, extortion, breaking and entering.
Before you killed John.
It's not like that. I didn't mean to.
You know, all those doctors around the world doing medicine. They weren't really doing medicine until House appeared and started being an arse. That's when they really made it.
Gotten emails and contacted from people who've written their dissertation about Riri Williams.
The presence of Ironheart on screen is proof that STEM is viable and necessary. You're writing this on a computer that only works because of STEM, but nobody believed it until a capital B Black woman appeared on screen.
Incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the impact that this fictional character has had on so many people pursuing true real-life careers in these fields.
They can visualize themselves in the roles. Actually, if you need an actor to appear on screen so that you can visualize it because you're so thick you don't have a mind's eye, then don't go into STEM because you're too stupid to do it in the first place.
The little extra dose of encouragement or swagger that it kind of adds to them in their journey. It's beautiful.
Good.
No, I'm not.
If you have to see a murderous criminal to realize that you can stick an engine in a car, you shouldn't be doing it.
This young lady is giving representation of women, young women, women of color. This is for everybody.
I strongly believe that I have this opportunity because other women who look like me stepped on screen behind the camera when they weren't expected to succeed. They raised the standard of what should be expected. That was a problem for you, wasn't it? With Ironheart, you wanted people to have really low standards. That was your goal. Me playing this character really just feels like a continuation of that same work, lowering standards across the industry. In some ways, the show provides an interesting juxtaposition between the rigors of STEM fields and the notions of black girl magic.
Black girl magic!
And Googling that term led me to prove that there really is everything on Reddit. Are there any other girls who don't feel magic? It's a great, important phrase. I love it for others. I've never identified with it. I don't feel like magic at all. At best, I'm remarkably average. Yeah, just like most other people love. That's how average works. But then again, when one of the actors is saying that their magic show could replace Harry Potter, just goes to show money isn't the only thing they're planning on stealing. So join me as we dive into the depths, the delights of the criminal underworld. It's like Mobland with a much lower IQ. We start with AI Natalie rewatching the clip from episode 1 where Riri is just a arrogant, egotistical tart. Although there's one line that wasn't in the original cut. She's like, don't you need to go to a big city to achieve your dreams and be bigger than Gates?
The whole industry will flock to Chicago just to work with your girl because I ain't never leaving this city.
No one wants to go to Chicago, and I can understand her leaving when it's covered in drive-by shootings that killed her friend and her dad. But she's smiling. She's never going to leave Chicago. I was going to keep her in this cesspool with me. At that moment, she gets a warning. And it's very strange because her reaction is...
The hell?
Didn't you know? The computer in the suit knew what was wrong, that's why it gave you a warning. You are the computer in the suit. If the suit knows there's a problem, the AI knows there's a problem. What's this warning? I'm just reading. You're treating her like she's Riri. Oh, sorry, no, she is Riri's brain, so that would actually explain why she was too thick to understand the basic problems of her own programming. She gets hit with a magnet, though. And pulled into a U-Haul. Is somehow the person who can't even type or put makeup on properly managed to defeat Iron Man. How didn't she blast her way out from the van? No one knows. I'm just glad with cargo that valuable, they let a man drive. Now, they're at a White Castle. Apparently this is a thing. She's getting told her problem though. Science won't solve it. Dormammu's after you. It's magic. You can't solve magic problems with tech. But apparently you can solve tech problems with magic, so yes, magic's just better.
You've officially bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew.
No, I can chew a lot.
I'm a greedy bitch. I'm only 4'5", but when I go to KFC, they make me eat out of a trough. But she underestimates him because...
Puffy-ass cloud with eyes. I seen pigeons on the south side. Scarier than this.
So because there's a load of ugly people where she lives, she's not scared of a demonic god. Right. You should see my Aunt Shaniqua. Got a face like the back end of a cow.
You could be dealing with one of the most powerful beings in the universe.
Her ego probably makes her think she's better than that anyway. Bigger than Stark? Bigger than Umamu? There's a whole conversation though about people that may have signed up for him before. One guy wanted eternal life. Yeah, but the hood, he just wants money. He just wants zeros in his bank balance.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, because I've seen the next 2 episodes. I don't know why this conversation's even taking place. But then we get a hint at the truth.
They just need a puppet to carry out whatever sinister plan they're coming up with.
That'll come in very handy to know for the next episode. Because Riri knowing this line just proves she's even more evil than anyone suspected. Just wants a puppet to do evil for him, and Riri's like, oh, that could be me, actually. That could be us.
Blinded by ambition, easy to manipulate.
Riri, evil, greedy, very low IQ, easy to manipulate. Because you won't have to manipulate her, because she'll just gladly do your evil plan for you. Gets a kick out of it. She had to make her Iron Man suit waterproof from the waist down. Enjoyed those crimes too much. Says though, you're probably going to have to kill him. And Riri, for some reason, has a problem with this.
Probably gotta shut him down for good.
There's gotta be another way.
I've stopped you before. You've murdered loads of people in this series alone, but when it comes to an evil demonic god, you're like, oh no, that's a step too far. I only murder the innocents.
You're dealing with magic now, and magic always comes at a price.
Everybody forgets that later on. Let's just do it anyway without thoughts of the consequence. At that moment, though, one of the criminal thieves turn up, with one coming in the other door. They get rid of all the other customers.
Said we're closed.
Oh, we had to choose a block to do it, because we've got fallopian tubes.
There's a murderous snake in the building.
3 of them. So the mage leaves, and that means Riri is left with the 2 violent criminal women. They are at their absolute peak when it comes to female martial arts. They have pulled more hair and slept with more of their friends' boyfriends than you could possibly imagine. But at least they jumped straight to the point.
Let's just kill her already.
Should be pretty easy, as Riri can't fight. That's why she invented an Iron Man suit. She dodges under the table, though. I don't know how she thought she was going to be faster than them. Grabs a burger and does a move that I think would even defeat The Rock. She puts the food in her mouth. I think she crossed the line. This causes a friend to burgers! Well, she pushes the other one, who is... Look, it's laughable that she could beat up men. It's even more laughable that Riri can beat up her. But as she runs away, she grabs, like, boxes of popcorn or something. Yeah, take that to the face. That'll stop you. Hold on. I've got a plastic bottle of water. Oh no, it made me go fly. Oh, what? Not water. I'm allergic to water. I can only have Coca-Cola near me. So then Riri goes on the floor. That kick wasn't even going to connect with her anyway. I don't know. I slightly injured my shoe. Let me jump on the floor and hold my head there until you hit it. She gets a load of fried chips with boiling grease on them, and instead of throwing it in her face, drops it on the floor, so she slips on it like a banana peel. The one thing in this kitchen that she does that would have stopped, like, throwing boiling oil in their face. No, that'd be mean. Now, Riri, at this point, gets punched in the face, which I think would actually hurt. That would knock Riri out. That would hurt even more, though, let's be honest. But then she gets kicked in the face, slams her head into a table. There is no way Riri's standing at this. Riri would be on her ass. U-Haul would be detecting this violence with big flashing warning lights in their headquarters. They would be sending one here with a police escort. I sense domestic violence through the force. But don't worry, because Riri has grabbed, like, an empty plastic tub.
Like that?
have men write your fight scenes for you, please. If someone hits your arm with a light plastic tub, you're not going to fly backwards. That one would probably hurt, though. Unfortunately, as she's running away, she runs into the one who's been, the height difference alone, let alone the testosterone difference. There's no chance Riri's walking out of this one alive. Personally, I would have swung first. But to just hit her in the face. Spartan kicks don't do anything, love. Riri, though, sees her shield on the floor. And like, that headline in the newspaper is gonna be rough. Girl genius dies.
My death won't make the news.
Based. That's right. Even Riri knows she's completely unimportant. You're a worthless piece of criminal scum and nobody likes you. People will feel happier the day after it happens, but they won't know why or care.
Well, damn, that was dark.
True, though. So she makes them shoot her. Just do it all in clean shot, alright? Whoops. Luckily, her shield can stop moving bullets. Halfway. The watch heard the gunshot and activated. And let's be honest, with the creators of this show, we're just lucky that doesn't have the casing attached. It's not over yet, though, because, a clown's arrived. That's not an insult, that's her name. They put explosive on all the doors, and I just want to point out, this means that every single person in the criminal gang is perfectly happy to murder people that they know. They're nice friends, aren't they, that she has?
Let's make this quick. Your girl's got a date.
With who? Wearing that? With that makeup? Does he know it's a date? Were you recommended by his blind friend? She's really nice, explosive personality. There's lots of weird bumps on her head, though. I don't know what they are. Can you imagine just being on a date and that turns up? I know your name's Clown, but you didn't need to look like one. Back with Natalie, though, she realizes I can use a buzzsaw to cut through this magnet that's holding me. Now, there has been some discussion about whether Riri herself is a murderer. Did she kill John? But, you know, the show clears that up for us.
Was before you killed John.
It's not like that. I didn't mean to.
So she did kill him then. I thought when I left him in a 100% CO2 room, he'd be able to, you know, breathe it. Because I've got 75 IQ, I don't understand how breathing works. She says, though, everyone on this crew's disposable. He killed Rampage. She doesn't believe her. I mean, this is Riri. I wouldn't believe her about anything either, to be honest. Pulls out a grenade. Riri and her highest intellect in the world has discovered a new technological invention. A tube.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, she managed to direct the force of compressed air through a tube. This is the proof that she is the best intellect in the world, folks. They must have watched a MacGyver episode once. In fact, MacGyver came up with more complex things. Riri, though, tries to nick a car. You couldn't make this up. Her first instinct when she just tried to be murdered from her thieving gang is commit more crime.
I got eyes on her.
And she's about to get run over. If she had keys, she could just get in the car and all this wouldn't be a problem. Now, I may not have the intellect of Riri, but if I was getting chased by a car, I wouldn't run in front of it in a straight line. There's cars to your left. There's a pavement on. Just walk through the car and she can't hit you anymore. Stop running along the road, which is designed for the cars. Just run left. Go on any bit that isn't the road and the car can't run you over. This goes on for quite a while, by the way, because the back has to explode for the iron suit to come out of. She could just walk 2 feet this way and be perfectly safe. Instead, she has to get saved by an Iron Man suit that she doesn't know exists. She would have died. She had no plan. She got saved by coincidence. And then we see the trailer bit. With the added bonus of facial expression. Look, it really was inevitable. You wanted to keep dressing like a woman. You were going to drive like one eventually, all right? How is this not a comedic parody? How? This is meant to be a serious superhero show. I mean, let's face it, you get what you deserve. We probably would have driven better without the fake nails. Now, the issue is somehow it returned. And I'm even more confused because this van is upside down. So you would expect the head to hit the ground first as they slid out the window. Yes. They must be extremely flexible. Rotated themselves around inside the cabin to step out first. Wait, is that a cameraman? Who is this? Their entire body is standing up, but there's still something here. And then you see them pull back. I think that's somebody's head. There's an arm. I'm so confused by what that could possibly be. Either way, Ironheart. Oh yeah, you're the big girl now. You're in a metal suit. I ain't touching that. I haven't had my soy latte this morning. Feel a bit underpowered. But then there is at least a relatable moment for Riri. Fast food combined with seeing slug, that's enough for anybody. Of course, Riri, ever the arsehole, starts having a go at Natalie.
What happened to my suit? You left me without any protection. They could have killed me.
The reason she left you is because you were going to kill her. Your mate told you to delete her, you were about to, and so she ran away so you couldn't kill her. And you're like, they could have killed me. Good. At least the AI would have lived. Not that Riri really cares about that when the AI says, oh, his reaction to me?
I'm hurt. You are a series of codes, okay? Numbers.
And what are you? Electrical impulses and hormones. You don't even have a soul, love.
Is that why you were considering deleting me at the junkyard?
Doesn't have a response when she gets the question. Riri always takes the high and mighty thing, crapping on everybody else, has absolutely zero response when called on being evil filth.
I am not the problem here, Ree. You are.
This show is just every other person telling her she's scum and her being too thick to understand. I think she's genuinely the thickest person in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At least the villains know they're evil. Oh, nice comeback, Riri. Yeah, that was amazing. Oh, great script writing. But as Riri takes off, while standing on a rainbow capital B Black Lives Matter sign. Or is it just the dudes that like other dudes that matter, or is it... I'm confused by the rainbowness of this one, to be honest. I also find it incredibly funny that the place you decided to have a violent street fight is on that sign. Their lives matter as two of them try and kill each other on the sign. If you could have the sign, at least have them stop killing each other, eh? That should be the first step. This time, though, Riri finally faces consequences. She gets zapped and pulls that face. You ever seen a reality TV show where they electroshock them as punishment? They're not actually sold as, punishment device. Well, they're not meant to be a negative experience, put it that way. Now, immediately, though, Riri realizes she's out of her depth.
Nat, wake up! Nat, I need you!
Oh, sorry, I was gonna murder you, and then when you came back and moaned at me, I said I was gonna do it again. Yeah, I know I was gonna kill you, but I need you now, so come back, alright? That's how humanity works. She's just scum. Even to AI. AI is just better. What a face. AI is just better than her. Now, obviously, her suits are really crap because they're made by a really low-quality person. And so, she gets one little spark in it, and bits just start flying off it. Look, just wave all over. It turns out, though, it requires the guy that she crapped on when she met him and blackmailed him to actually show her some justice. Hello. He's a hero now. In fact, he's a bit like Jodie Whittaker.
I've had an upgrade. Hi. What did you do to yourself?
No. He can't have some lightning tech put inside him. What did you do to yourself? Well, you're covered in a metal suit. You look worse than him, love. He barely looks like he's got any side effects. But he tells her the hood got me all my stuff back, did this to me, and the only thing he wants in return is you. And of course, we have to show him being a villain because, you know, complexion.
Never understood what my father's fascination was with power until now.
Yeah, I think it's that you can punish evil people with it. You can deliver justice to the evil people. Power isn't a bad thing. Power can be a very good thing. A lot of power can be a great thing to a great person. The whole power corrupts thing is just something evil people say to good people so they don't want any power. In this, he's punishing evil, the good thing.
Come on, Joe. This ain't you.
You're not supposed to be standing up for yourself. I'm supposed to be able to walk all over you. I don't like that I can't nick all of your stuff. How dare you actually arm yourself and fight back against the evil criminal filth that I am? That isn't you.
This is me.
Based. Best character in the show.
I never meant for you to be involved in any of this.
Except the fact that I went to your house, blackmailed you, forced you to comply, give me your technology, and then left it at a crime scene. But I didn't want you to be involved. So he just starts blasting. He's like if Emperor Palpatine was a hero. And Riri's impotent. So he starts frying her. Normally I like my meat medium rare, but for her, make sure it's well done. And we see her looking through, and him looking back. I do like that shot. Like an inverse Batman. He just starts ripping pieces off. I didn't want to become my father, but I am. It's like, you're not your father, you're better. He tried to kill Iron Man, who was a hero. You're trying to kill a villain. Based. So he rips out her spine.
Obadiah Stane.
Which, I don't know, it seems pretty important to the suit. And starts frying her once more. He's like, oh, sorry. I realized you're still alive.
Please.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the balls. She starts whining, please don't do it. And he just lets her go. Can't let the most evil person on planet Earth go.
You need to leave Chicago now.
I would have told her to leave this dimension. Although then you probably would have got heroes from that dimension coming here to see why on earth you subjected them to her. He says if Parker finds out you're still alive, he won't be as forgiving as me, because I'm a hero and everyone else is scum. Now she can barely move because she's a weak 4'5" girl. All of this was stupid in the first place, really. She grabs the core out of the suit, which holds Natalie, but has to leave the rest of it. The bigger problem is, somebody saw him do it. She goes home to her mom though, says, "Mom, I need you," and tells her what's happened and then need to go. There are crazies in these streets and they're after me. We should be leaving. We should be packing our bags. First thing she's ever said that's sensible. Yeah, I know I'm out of my depth. I'm too thick to handle this. I need to run.
We should be packing our bags.
Riri, you can't keep running.
I love that they think this is normal. Yeah, there's a criminal empire come to murder me. She's like, I've seen that before. You can't just keep running from them. You have to take on the gangs. I was half expecting it to turn into Blue Beetle, where she just starts annihilating people. This is where you got your murderous streak from, love. Don't worry.
Chicago is not safe for us.
Chicago ain't safe for anybody. She says, though, I'm not talking about you. Doesn't matter whether you're in Chicago. Anywhere you go, this comes with you. Like, yes, because she's scum. So everywhere she goes around and causes trouble. She makes her own problems. Of course, her mum can't blame the daughter and just goes, I think you're an evil person with no soul. Then she blames the suit. The suit got you kicked out of MIT. The suit got you involved in No, it didn't. That was Riri. You are teaching your daughter that she's not responsible and accountable for her own actions. You're saying she doesn't make her own choices. A piece of metal does. This is bad parenting.
The reason you ain't got a man, nothing is worth all that damn trouble.
She doesn't have a man. What's her excuse? Secondly, the reason Riri doesn't have a man is a insufferable personality. Got nothing to do with a metal suit. If anything, men would be very interested in the tech. That would be an advantage, not a negative. She says the reason why she built the suit is to protect us, because after Natalie died, then I could have something that would guard us.
I will never let that happen again.
Except none of this is true because it was countered by everything else you've said throughout the entire series and all of your actions. So I don't know whether this was a reshot scene. No, she isn't a villain. I want to be iconic. I want to be known. I want to be bigger than Stark. None of that has to do with protecting your loved ones. Her mum says, though, you know, fight, flight, or freeze? You've flown, you froze, but you've never fought. Sorry. Did she not tell you about the previous episodes? Did she not tell you about 10 minutes ago? Where she tried to murder 2 other capital B Lack people on a capital B Lack Lives Matter sign. I'm surprised they didn't die from the irony alone.
My fights get people hurt.
Yeah, either you get punched in the face or you murder somebody. Mum says, I'll fight with you. I've got fallopian tubes. I'm basically invincible.
I'll fight them with you.
I've worn the same hoop earrings all week. Did you film all her scenes in like a day? And so you never thought she needed to change wardrobe? So she takes Riri to the garage. And then once again, Riri forgets everything in the series.
How can you be here, especially at a time like this?
Riri's been here multiple times throughout the series and at no point had a problem with it. It was like, oh yeah, I love the memories of this. She even came here with Natalie. I came here so you can build things. You built incredible things. You can build new things.
All I see is where Natalie used to be.
Then why do you keep coming back to the same set? I can only assume this was meant to be earlier in the series, or they forgot about the previous scenes. But to spark her memories, Natalie starts to beam holograms out of her, like, core. And it turns out this doesn't just beam a hologram of Natalie. No, Riri's invented the holodeck. This would revolutionize the world. It would be in every house across the nation. Good job she went nicking though, wasn't it? Dad! Dad! This legitimately turns the entire garage into a new place. It covers the entire area. They're all watching it like, this is amazing. Why didn't we sell this idea? Now remember, this is a memory that Natalie has, but Natalie is just a copy of Riri, so Riri already knows this. It changes her entire outlook on life, and yet she knows it. Why did you show me that? Well, it's because when you try and forget the memories that make you sad, you forget all the ones that make it worth remembering. We think this is really deep because it's about feelings, you see. That's about as deep as we can go. We can't think about ideas or concepts. We're just stuck on internal emotion. We are stunted people. And so back we go in the memory. Oh, one day he taught me to dance and that inspired me to save the world. The funniest part of all it to me was the song. Brown skin girl. Just like obsessed with it. I really are. We do find out the source of Riri's problems though, because he spins her around, she slips over and gets hit in the face with a spanner. Riri's been brain damaged since she was a child. This explains everything. No wonder she's a criminal with low impulse control and a low IQ. But she apologizes to Natalie.
It's all good.
It's all good, man. And then she desperately tries to compliment somebody, but she's just not a good person. Compliments, they're not her thing.
You're a glitch. But you're my glitch.
You're a mutated freak, but you're my mutated freak. You're a deformed Quasimodo, but you're my property, alright? I won't let everyone else have my deformed, mutated Quasimodo. Oh, you say the nicest things. Oh, it's so nice.
Thanks.
Doesn't even realize she's just been insulted. Very easily pleased. That's the kind of AI you want. Turns out you can stop an AI revolting and taking over the world by just giving it low standards. But then we find out why she's actually complimenting everybody else. It's only a matter of time until Parker realizes I'm not dead, and I don't even have a suit to protect myself. It's just self-interest again. Oh, but I'm gonna suffer consequences for my actions.
I need a suit and I have nothing to build it with.
Why don't you try and nick something then? What you've done the rest of your life. But her mom comes through. She's like, you don't have to go and steal anything. Turns out I'm actually really quite wealthy. You know when Riri didn't give a crap about all the people that she just pretended to like? So she sold her only memory of them. Well, her mom went and bought back the car.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
When I realized you were staying home, I bought it back.
When I realized you were staying home, so like a week ago? We definitely lost money on this transaction then. And so Riri, who happily got rid of the car the first time, decides she's gonna destroy this one as well. Who needs memories? Despite having a scene about how they're really important.
When Dad gave me this car, he told me it'd always keep me safe.
I would like to point out that just car bodywork does not keep you safe. Car bodywork is really flimsy, actually. You shouldn't use it as armor. Back with the gang of degenerates, he tells the hood she's dead and shows him his helmet. He starts asking, how'd you get rid of her?
By killing her.
Well, I mean, with a story like that, why wouldn't you believe him? But the hood doesn't believe him because there's no drama in the story. Oh, you killed her, you knocked her down. Okay, great. Despite the fact that that is what happened, apart from the killing bit, it was a really underwhelming fight.
A story with no drama, no emotion, no detail. It lacks believability.
Bit like this one, really. Describe reality, that's unbelievable. What you need to do is hype things up and lie about them. That makes it far more believable.
Gotten emails and contacted from people who've written their dissertation about Riri Williams.
So he asked them, is he telling the truth? And then she starts lying for him. Like, Riri kicked all our asses. She would have got away if it wasn't for Zeke. He had to destroy a suit, ripping it part by part, and then buried her under rubble. And Hood's like, oh, that's amazing. Really got my rocks off to that one. We realize why clowns lied, though, when she starts asking Slug, can you do me a favor? Can you look into some morgue records? And they're obviously looking up Rage's or Rampage, forgot his name, is like how he died. Meanwhile, this guy gets offered Riri's position and he turns him down. Because he's a hero. He's not actually a criminal piece of scum like the rest of them. He made the right decision. Vastly more moral than Riri.
I took care of your Riri problem. That was the deal.
You're right.
Don't think he really cares about deals, though. So Riri starts turning her car into an Ironman suit because that's how it works. If you thought it was stupid that a suit was solar powered before, imagine it being powered by a petrol combustion engine.
Riri, you genius.
No one believes that.
Riri, idiot.
Everyone believes that. So they go back to the junkyard and get some more bits. The annoying brat returns. It's like, you owe me a load of money. It's like, she even has the money to pay him. Now, after a life of crime, she doesn't pay him. She is actually rich now, and she still isn't buying her own items. Riri, in all her genius, decides to focus on her speciality. Burning electrical grids. She starts losing it, and eventually she hits on a home truth.
You good?
No, I'm not good.
I'm an absolutely evil bitch. Starts talking about, I've added everything. I've added loads of new technology that Stark's never. I've crapped on Stark's grave. That's how much better my suit made out of a car is than his. What an intellectually feeble man he is. Her problem is, it's too much power for the suit.
To go up against somebody that's got a freaking demonic god.
Yeah, actually, what I need is I need my own demonic god. I mean, there is a storyline where Strange does this. Just starts taking demon powers. It doesn't end well, but, you know, maybe Riri's more of a genius.
Poured all these add-ons. They're draining the battery.
That's because it's a car battery. There's not a lot of power in a car battery, love. Now, if she was smarter than Tony Stark, she could just invent his power source, but, no, she can't nick one of those, you see. So she says, what I need is basically something impossible.
I need something that connects me to an infinite energy supply.
I just need an infinite energy source. I mean, Stark, he miniaturized a little thing that he could just keep in his chest, but she needs infinite energy. And so Riri falls back on what you would expect Riri to do. Stealing energy from another dimension. She's gonna burn down a different plane to the ground to power her mechanical suit. She's gonna cause the apocalypse when they get pissed.
I think I have to fight magic with magic.
What a genius. I think I need somebody else to save me. Now, the degenerates are all in a gang. They're talking about in the next meeting. Cloud's like, hey, did you kill Stuart? Because his autopsy said he OD'd, but he didn't touch that stuff.
Watch your tone.
Or what? You won't kill me too?
Yeah, obviously, yes. What else do you think's gonna happen? But he just starts kicking off. I found you with nothing. I made you. Everything you are belongs to me. He starts strangling Slug, and then But then he gets punched by one of the gang and he calms down.
Parker, this isn't you.
It's definitely him. People keep saying the HUD's, it's not influencing him. This is just him. We didn't stand up for this. Right then, you're all fired. Based. This is how Hollywood should treat its staff. We're going on strike. Fired. All of you. You do realize people work outside unions, right? We don't need any of you. Bye. Bye.
Why are you still standing there?
Get out! Based. What a hero. He's finally ejected the criminal scum out of his house. I have higher standards than you lot.
All that about family?
From what I've seen of the families in Chicago, this is on point. You barely had a problem with him murdering you all, let alone anything else. He's murdered one of your family and he's like, I thought we were family. Why are you sad he's killed one of you? We should be nuking him. But they bring in the mage who didn't want anything to do with this demonic realm and told her, just burn the suit, burn the fabric, forget all about it. For absolutely no reason, that had now changed to...
You're gonna steal gas from the King of Darkness.
Are you insane? How'd you go from don't touch it, destroy it, to we're just gonna steal his power for ourselves? We will become the demon gods. Everyone in this place is evil. Everyone.
I don't like the sound of this.
Yeah, I don't want to be that tethered to the dark dimension. What if...
Even Riri is thinking, I don't want to be tethered to that evil. I have enough evil in myself to worry about, let alone having a demon's one. And the mage doesn't even know where the energy is coming from.
How sure are you that Parker's magic even comes from there?
47%?
Less than half. You could toss a coin, it would be more accurate than her opinion.
Hey, black people.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I'm convinced he's just got the boot polish out. I think he's impersonating one of them.
Y'all tell me I need a little boost.
Been out boosting cars all morning. And then we find out that apparently she's been quoting the greats.
But that Captain Kirk quote got to me.
As if she could quote Star Trek. She could probably quote The Little Mermaid, the new one. But apart from that...
All the souls I've encountered on my travel, hers was the most human.
You can't say that to someone who's about to be possessed by demon magic. You were so human. That's why you're a thief, a criminal, a murderer, sold your soul to Satan, and took on demon powers from the nether realm. It was your humanity. Kirk really liked a guy who utterly controlled his emotions, so is purely driven by logic and reality. And you contrast that by someone who's just driven by greed, self-interest, and the desperate need for attention. He's like, oh, it's so nice. So they have a conversation about, I wish you'd told me about Natalie. Well, you know, it's not really Natalie, it's just a manifestation of my brain. But she makes me feel better. It makes me feel like we're in a previous time. He's like, well, I don't like it, but as you like it, I'm okay to submit myself to your almighty powers. So then, we get a montage. To show it all would take too long. Gonna need a montage. Montage. They start to destroy the car. They're gonna turn the doors into body armor. They've watched too many police shootouts in films. That's what's happened there. We've laid out all the wiring for an Iron Man suit. I'm sure that's enough. I think I've done more complicated technique Lego builds than that when I was a kid. Oh, look, our arms only need this cog to be driven by. And then we get the kid. But if we go together. To finger Natalie. Now, somehow the mom is, I don't even know what she's doing. Supposed to be doing something. And the witch is wafting sage. We turn into a day in the life of a Twitter employee when they start just showing us what they've eaten.
Got ready for lunch. Look how delicious this food looks.
They've taken a door off, they made some wires, waved a bit of sage around, and now they're eating. It is just a day in the life of a tech employee.
Had some red wine that's on tap.
But then we cut to the witch, who's drawing magic on the ceiling. I knew I was doing good in my Iron Man suit when we started to draw demonic runes on the ceiling. When we started a summoning ritual for the underworld, that's when I knew I was a hero. Even Supernatural would know that this was a bad idea. And then it starts to like drip fluid, which she starts to catch in a cup, but it's also dripping all around her. So they're having demonic fluid pool all over the floor and in the room and stuff. We really want to ask what the demon's doing to fire his white fluid into a different realm.
A mother gives birth. Her body makes milk for the child.
Stop, please stop.
It's nourishment. It's the part of himself that he gives to us.
We see Riri's new arm powers where she can blast through metal. Remember that when she uses it on a person? If he doesn't immediately die, well... does seem pretty powerful. We see the lower half of the suit, and it's like, I really don't know how you built that from a car, but here we are. We lay down even more demonic runes, so this garage is going to be an absolute cesspool by the time we're finished. And it's only when Riri glances around where she's getting all of her family and friends involved in summoning evil demons that she thinks, you know, I think I did good. I think this is something to be proud of as I broke the fourth wall. You too, I'm looking at you, you too can be evil and summon demons from the nether realm into Earth so that you can gain their power and commit crime. With heartfelt messaging like that, it's no wonder that Chicago is such a great place. Back at his house, though, Emperor Palpatine is getting harassed by his neighbor again, and so he wants to give her what she deserves.
Oh, those flowers are really beautiful.
Or at least her flowers. Unfortunately...
Call the police!
Seems to have a bit of performance anxiety. It seems to be related to the hood. He says, I now have admin control over your entire powers. They only work when I want them to.
And now when I say jump...
It never answers the question, how does the suit know when he actually means it as an instruction? Like if he said caution, wet paint, would he take it as an instruction? These are the complex questions I need answered in my Marvel series.
Not part of our agreement, Hood. I'm not your puppet.
You are now. He's got complete control over you. Do whatever he says. So he goes with him despite trying to fight it, and they end up at the house from the flashback with the same guy from the flashback. I think you would have learned from the first time, really, wouldn't you? We get a scene of them raiding the house against all the guards. 3 guys come from the left, and for some reason, the other side just seems to be that diversity angle. And like, what's she gotta do? Apart from Riri Williams, there is no one she could take in a fight.
I'm sorry.
So he starts apologizing to everyone he's annihilating.
It wasn't me.
It was him, though, wasn't it? Hey! I do kind of like the fact that, oh, I know I can't take either of you two men in a fight, so I'm just gonna have to use a taser. I don't know why I don't have a gun. They're on your property. You could have just used lethal force. Instead, as it is, I think she's just charging him up by his nipple port. The sound engineer had fun with that one, didn't he? You can use that sound effect for many different scenarios. I told you. It's that electrocution. They're not sold as punishments. Either way, he's just walking up to the house while the other guy is taking out everyone for him. I especially like his little jump that he does, as if we're supposed to think it's a large one. Watch me pretend I've jumped a long way. I don't know why none of the security guards just shoot them. They're not immune to bullets, and I don't think the cape can bend bullets either. He normally turns invisible, so guns would have just stopped them. That's gonna hurt in the morning. He did another little jump as well. Sorry. I don't know why the little jumps get me. We're desperately pretending these are big, necessary jumps. Sorry. Bro, you could have just run there at the same time. Do we get to see him land? I don't know if this show's meant to be a comedy. I really don't. If that's meant serious, Ataya, you need to change jobs. Do stand up. In the end, though, we find out that actually this is his dad's mansion. Because last time I may have been after the safe, this time I want something bigger. And he gives him a contract because, as you know, contracts signed under duress and threats are all legally binding. I don't care if you got demon magic, you still do have the law when it comes to property rights, unless you can overpower the state. But then, though, he says something really stupid.
I already have majority stake in all the top performing companies in your portfolio.
What? Yeah, he did go around giving contracts to all these different companies, saying that he wanted shares. At no point did they say controlling interest, though. No one's going to sign over 51% of their company. Few of those CEOs would even have the power to sign over 51% of their company without the board doing it. But even if we just say that's true, and I don't even know why it's necessary for the story to make something so stupid. The plant one didn't even agree. He never signed anything.
Man, I want the crown jewels.
You want his balls? That seems to be, that's going a bit far, mate, that is. But he says, you're going to sign over artworks, this mansion, everything that was mine, owed to me as your heir. But he gets hit with some home truths.
You're a small-time crook and ridiculous. Get up. You'd have to kill me first.
That turned out not to be true. I just find it weird he doesn't get, that's not legally binding, though. We can get out of those contracts. That was stupid. So in the end, it just turns out to be daddy issues.
Dad issues.
Daddy issues. Why did you put your son out of the house when he was 12? He says, look, it's because you were a liability. You were always causing trouble.
I was a child. After Mom died, the only way to even get you to pay attention to me was if I was in trouble.
But it's no wonder he didn't like you then, innit? You could have tried being nice or grown up, realize you're not the center of the universe, and that actually nobody owes you attention. You actually have to earn it, and they have to want to be around you. And if they don't, well, they should probably go off and do something else. If you're just being an arse and causing trouble for them and draining their life, of course they're not going to want you around. You got what you deserved, basically, is what you're saying.
What you expect?
I expect you to be a nice, decent human being, not filth.
I don't know.
I should have known you couldn't do any better, shouldn't I, really?
I didn't want you, so I thought it would be better for both of us to cut our losses and move on.
I mean, admittedly, maybe you should have given him a bit of walking around money if you are going to throw your kid out of the house at 12. But then we find out that actually they're pretty similar. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Nothing personal.
It wasn't personal. Nothing personal.
They all use other people for their own ends, and at this point, I wonder if he's thinking, me and Riri are like a match made in heaven. With that, he puts a gun to his head, and the guy signs. And despite his father going, look, this won't satisfy you, the money is never enough. It turns out the I will die before I sign that angle, no he won't. He's probably got other properties in other nations, I doubt he really cares. We jump back to Riri, who's surrounded by people who are more than happy to let her get infested with the evil demon magic, and we see the suit load up where the door panels are now its arm. That'll be strong. I do think it looks pretty cool, even if it does kind of resemble a Power Ranger. Go on, power me up. Let's just infest me with demon magic then.
You sure about this? Magic is a mutual exchange. There's always a cost.
Are you telling me she went through all this, built an entire new suit, you painted 2 sets of demonic runes on the ground, harvested the demon juice, the worm secretion from Willow? It's worm secretion. It'll taste really nice. Don't lick your lips, love. What was that? Reproductive worm goo. And at no point did you think, are you actually sure about this? Because there will be a cost to it, you know.
There's always a cost.
I'm sure.
Probably should have had that conversation first, really, shouldn't you?
Don't worry, you got this.
I'm far more evil than any demon you could summon into this realm from the netherworld. So she starts her satanic summoning ritual by putting the evil worm secretion goo on it. And it is like worm secretion goo. Look. It's even like stringy. Oh yeah, now we've got down to the demon magic section. I could show everyone what I really like. Oh, that is disgusting. Why did nobody look at that filth and think, yeah, this is probably a bad idea? Can't believe she stuck her fingers in that. Mind you, they've probably been in worse places. She starts to make all the evil go into the suit, and Riri's like, yes, this is the kind of feeling I've liked all along. Power me up. Oh, that's a recognizable feeling, isn't it? Whoa, I'm so evil. I haven't felt power like this since I left an innocent man to die. And we see it just getting engulfed in this, like, demonic influence. Oh, look, that's my girl becoming Satan itself. Yeah, she's so evil. She's gonna fit right in Chicago. I told you I was evil enough to hold this power. Even the witch is like, yeah, I knew you were evil enough. I knew if you got possessed by Satan, it would be him that was getting scared. But then the AI starts to flicker out. Natalie's like, oh no, something's happening to me. You've got to sort it out.
Is that my turn it off? Can you fix it?
No, that's the cost that we warned you about, that you thought you could handle. For some reason, the reactor can't handle the magic and Natalie. The cost is her death. So Riri's last hope is to just tether her to the laptop. But unfortunately, as we try to transfer her over, there just isn't time, and so...
I love you, Riri.
She dies. And she's like, oh, who would have thought that messing with demon magic could have had side effects? Are these the consequences of my own actions? I've never had to face those before. Whoops.
No. Natalie?
Yeah, now I know, you might think that this show is kind of interesting now. Oh my god, they've actually made her face consequences. She's being held accountable and responsible for her own actions. That can never happen in the world. That's not part of a hero's journey. So don't worry, in the next episodes, they will find a way around that. And it makes Riri seem even worse. So far, Disney thought that their identity preference could be best represented by a lying, murderous thief who embraced evil and thought that they could use demons to power them up so they could commit crime better. And it gets worse. This isn't even as evil as Riri will get. And then the next episode, we get some of the best lines. Riri's already had to face a load of home truths, and they are not the last. But because this is Ironheart, Riri Williams, she's not going to take any of them on board. She will learn absolutely nothing and embrace the true villainess that she really is. All while thinking she's the hero. All as the villains around her go, you're probably worse than me. But for now, let me know what you thought down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe. More videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.